Okay, here we are. I'm in my office right now. So here we go. We talked a lot about what an LLC is. We talked about the benefits of having an LLC. We also talked about anonymity and why it's important and why you would want to go and exercise that option when you're designing and structuring your LLCs for your investment business. But we wanted to do is there was a lot of information that came down, a lot of information that we spoke about, and we decided to say, hey, it'd be better if we show a visual demonstration so it's easier for you to digest. But before we begin, I must say again that I am not a lawyer. We are not legal advisors here, right? We are only giving you information for educational purposes. What you do with that information is totally up to you if you decide to take it and exercise with it, right? We suggest here at Let's Talk About Investing is that you go ahead and you speak to your lawyer and get some legal advice about information that you learn here or information that you learn anywhere else, right? This is once again only for informational purposes, so it's totally up to you what you want to do with it. Now, so we're going to start with the first one of, we'll call him Mark. Mark here has purchased a home. Look at that. That's a nice drawing right there. Mark has purchased a home, right, with him and his family. He's got a dog, he's got his son, he's got his daughter, and he's got his wife. So Mark says, hey, I purchased this home. Think about buying an investment property so that this way I can make some passive income. So Mark goes and he buys another home, right? Now, the problem with this is that Mark's home is in his name and his investment property is in his name as well. So if something does happen with this property, right, somebody gets hurt or whatever the case may be, and they sue Mark, not only can they come after this property, but they can also come after this property. Remember, LLCs are a way to separate your personal assets from your business, right? So this is a no-no. This is one thing you do not want to do. Make sure we have understanding of that. Now you have Lindsay. Lindsay now, she goes, give Lindsay some hair. She goes, and she's smarter than Mark. She has her house, that's Lindsay's house, but Lindsay goes and says, hey, I'm gonna get another property, an investment property, but I'm gonna have it called, 123 LLC, right? So now, if something happens with this property, Lindsay doesn't have to worry about her personal assets because this is protected because of her LLC. But what Lindsay will need to do is just to make sure that each property that she has its own LLC. So this will be another LLC. And then she has her parent LLC managing these properties. Remember, we talked about member, manage, and manage member. This property right here is the one that she'd be a member of, and these ones here would be the managed member that this one we be reporting to. Now, Lindsay's setup is really good, but we can do a little bit better, right? Let's go and let's look at Janet. Janet is the most intelligent one. Janet now, she goes and she's like, all right, I have my house, but guess what? Listen, I'm out of drawer. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. You can see where it looks. Even stick figures are horrible. But anyway, Janet now goes and says, all right, I have this property, I have this property, and I have this property. The difference between Lindsay and Janet is that Lindsay has all her properties with the parent LLC, right? But the parent LLC doesn't have an anonymity. If the person looks at 123 LLC and then they say, okay, it's owned by, financial investments, I'll call Lindsay's financial investments, right? LLC, they're gonna say, oh, okay, they'll find out that this property is owned by that LLC, and then what they'll do is go to this LLC, look it up, and they'll see that it's owned by Lindsay, right? That's easy. They can do an asset search and figure out what's going on. Now, over here, Janet now, she went and got her parent LLC from a state that provides anonymity. Nevada, New Mexico, Wyoming, doesn't really matter, right? But she went and got it there. So we'll just say this is the Wyoming LLC, and then she has different LLCs Let me just do it this way, show it brighter. Different LLCs within each one of these properties. So this property is its own LLC, and then the managing member of that is this right here. So when anyone does look up this property, if there's any issues going on, if somebody tries to sue, they're gonna say, who's the owner of this property? Oh, okay, well it's Wyoming LLC. So they'll go up and say, okay, Wyoming LLC, who's the owner of that one? And they won't be able to tell who's the owner of it, because guess what? That information doesn't go to Secretary of State, because that state provides that kind of anonymity. So I hope this presentation shows you a little bit, it makes it a little bit easier for you to understand exactly what we were discussing earlier. This is a no-go. Don't ever do it this way. It's just no. You're just gonna run into problems, right? This one's not bad as well. I was married at Lindsay. This isn't a bad setup, but there are better ways of going about doing it. But you know, if you speak to your lawyer, you know, I've talked to lawyers where they feel like this is perfectly fine, and you know, hopefully nothing happens to you, right? But this one right here, to me, gets 2 check marks, because it's really one of the best ways to safeguard your assets and to sleep better at night. So I hope this video was informative. I hope it helped break it down. Please, if you have any questions or anything like that, please leave a comment in the comment section, and then we'll just see you around later.